Welcome to the best business show in the world.
Social media platforms. I mean, WTF. Which do you go for? What the hell? You're in business, you're starting up, and I don't know if you've ever had the conversation. Oh, have you tried Insta Facebookigram? And you go, what? And they say, oh my goodness me, if you are not on there, you are nowhere. That's the platform. That's where you want to go. But I'm just getting to grips with Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and LinkedIn and all that. Forget all those. This is what you want. Insta Facebookigram. And you go, oh my goodness, have I got to start again? Ever been in that dilemma? Ever think I'm on the wrong platform? Today's episode will cut through all that crap, sort you out, because this is the best business show and we cut through the fog of overwhelm and we give it to you straight so you can work out what you should be doing to help your business grow. My name's Nigel T and welcome to the best business show. And today we're talking about simple social media. Why? Because I think social media is a series of rabbit holes that you, me, and everyone else can fall into and never find our way out again. Why? Because they all are designed to draw you in and suck you in and hold you there for a long time. And if they hold you there, then you are not creating, you are consuming. And as a business, you want to create social media content. You want to get out there, you want to create your brand, awareness of the brand, get people to know your brand, get people to like the brand, and get people to buy from your brand. And in order to do that, you need to be able to focus. And if everyone keeps saying to you, oh, you need to be on this platform, that platform, ever found yourself flip-flopping? Or today you get up and you do YouTube and then tomorrow you think, I need to do Instagram. Oh my God, how do I do Instagram? What? I need to do TikTok? How the hell do I do that? I can't even dance. And you're pulled from pillar to post. And what do you find? Have you ever been in a situation where you have 4 or 5 things on the go at once? And you kind of pick something up, do a few minutes, and then you put it down, and then you pick something else up, do a few minutes and put it down, pick something else up, do a few minutes and put it down. And at the end of the day, you sit down and you're absolutely shattered, but you've managed to complete nothing. And sometimes you've got to say to yourself, hang on, I need to just pick one of these and do it till it's done. That's what I think you need to do with social media. And how do you do it? Part of my best business bundle is packed with ideas as to how you do it. Fundamentally, though, I'm going to go through quite a bit of it today so that you can begin to work out what on earth it is that you should be doing and on which platform you should be focusing on. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, you need to determine who your customer is. Okay, so if you don't know who your customer is, you don't know how old they are, what they do, what they're interested in, where they might hang out, what their hobbies are, whereabouts they live, how they spend their time, do they have families, don't they have families, do they buy this, do they buy that, whatever it is. If you don't know any of that, you're going to struggle to find out, because this is the reason you need to know it. You're going to struggle to find out which of the social media platforms they may prefer. Why is that important? Well, if you're putting an advert out there that's trying to get in front of those particular people, it's pointless putting it on TikTok or Snapchat if your customer is unlikely to be on there. Now, a lot of the social media platforms have hundreds of millions, if not billions of people using the platform on a regular basis. So the chances are you could say, well, it doesn't matter which one I pick because the chances are my customer's on this one or that one or whatever. Yes, that's true. Very true. However, people go to certain platforms with a different mentality, and you need to understand the mentality that they are thinking at the time they go to that platform. What do I mean? Okay. If you wanted to know how to do something, those 2 words, how to, where would you type that? You'd probably type it into Google, wouldn't you? how to tile a bathroom, how to grow vegetables, how to hit a 300-yard drive right down the middle of the fairway, how to look after bunny rabbits, whatever it is. How to, in Google, bear in mind, who do Google own? Oh yeah, YouTube. And bear in mind, sometimes if it was how to wire a plug, how to fix a leaking toilet or something like that, those type of things, wonderful people out there around the world have recorded how you do it, and they put it on a video, and you can watch a video and you can have a damn good go at copying what they did. It's not to say that they are correct, but if you typed into Google how to, Google is going to throw back at you, because Google's sole intention is to try and answer your question. So if you said how to tile a bathroom, you're going to come up, and what do you see first when you see that? You see some videos, a series of videos, don't you? And they've even gone one stage further, because sometimes the video, it says, and we think the specific part of this video that would be of most use to you is 6 minutes 21 to 7 minutes 34. And so you can click on that, it loads up YouTube, it puts the video in, and it goes to that specific point. Wow. Now, if you are advertising how to tile and you are thinking, I'm going to put that on Snapchat or TikTok, think to yourself, actually, is that where people are going to find the answer to that problem? So when I'm talking about your customer, who's your customer? What's the problem they've got? What are they trying to do? Where are they going? How do they spend their time? You've got to think to yourself, okay, a lot of people are on a lot of social media platforms, but where is my message most likely to hit home? Where's it likely to resonate with someone who's listening to it? You know, where is it they're going to see the solution with their own eyes and think, that's what I've been looking for? And that's what you got to think to yourself. So, okay, where do people go? LinkedIn, business orientated, so there's typically business problems. So if you were wanting to know how to finance a big deal for some property development or something like that, LinkedIn would probably have connections, and you would probably go for a personal referral, or you would probably want to know someone who is qualified in that particular environment, who has maybe recorded something, and LinkedIn might be your preferred thing because you are looking for very much a business oriented solution. Would you go to Snapchat if you wanted to find out how to finance a complicated deal? Maybe not. So you got to think to yourself, okay, where are they? What's their problem? Where do they think they will find the solution? Where would they typically look for the solution? Now, if that was on LinkedIn, and as they're scrolling down to see, you know, they've put in something and they're looking for people who might have an answer, and your advert happens to appear in there that says, we can solve property development issues. So if you're struggling to raise finance, we've got a simple way of doing a quick check to find out if you're suitable for it and if the deal stacks up. You might sort of go, that's what I'm looking for. Isn't that lucky? Isn't that amazing that I got that, you know, advert at that point? I mean, it's not, because it's all part of the marketing trick to place it in front of the right person at the right time. But they are looking for that solution. Now, on YouTube, you're looking for a how-to predominantly. You know, that's where a lot of the how-to, the problem solving, the visual, the video solutions to things. How I did this, how you can do that, how to do that, what's the best equipment to buy for podcasting, you know, whatever it might be. So you got to think, okay, why are people going to these various platforms? And Facebook's the kind of the big daddy of them all. But you think to yourself, okay, do you go on Facebook to buy anything? Probably not. If you've got a buying intent and you think, right, I've done a bit of research, I'm now looking to buy something, what would you normally type in? And for a lot of people, it'd be something like Amazon. So I'm going to just go straight to Amazon. I've pretty much worked out what it is. I'm going to go straight to Amazon. However, if it was slightly more niched, and you happen to have a page on Facebook, and your page was all about what sort of equipment and how do you cultivate and grow snails or something like that, and everything about it is that, and you have a bit of a following on snails, and this is a very real niche, and people follow your page because you give some great information about snail farms and how you do everything to do with snails or whatever it might be. People then might go to you, and when they look on Facebook and they go to your group, they sort of go, right, I'm going to learn something about snails. I need to find out a bit more about snails. I want to do sort of something like this. And if you then said in your on Facebook, and you said, oh, by the way, if you want to grow your own, have your own snail farm and grow snails, then here's a great solution. This is what I'd suggest. Here's my offer. And go down that route, then that would be quite good. But if you were coming cold and you said, how do you find out about snail farming? It's unlikely they would find you there, because on Facebook, do you go to Facebook for solutions, or do you go to Facebook for a bit of entertainment, to share what's been going on, to see what your friends have been up to see what's going on in the groups, to see some interesting conversations or gossip or slagging one another off or whatever it may be? It could be any of those sort of things, isn't it? So you go to Facebook with a very different attitude towards how you're spending your time. And the hardest thing in Facebook is to interrupt that I'm here to enjoy, a half hour, an hour, whatever it might be. And so people scroll. And if you're thinking, right, okay, I want to try and do it in Facebook, you've got to somehow stop that thumb scrolling and get people to pause. You got to get people who are thinking, actually, I kind of got that problem. That's kind of interesting. I might find out a bit more. You've got to think to yourself all of these things. So when I say simple social media, you need to be going through, and in the best business bundle, I've kind of broken it down as to what each platform is typically used for, what the age groups are, what they're typically doing on there, the media that has the best results from there, and how you could use that for your business. So you need to think to yourself, okay, what is it that I do? What's the product or service that I sell, buy or sell, and who am I looking for on here? And then you got to say, right, is that person, if they're on this platform, are they really going to want to do buy a £500,000 piece of equipment from me? Maybe not. If it's that sort of scale, maybe that's in LinkedIn and a very specialized thing. If it was you're great at giving how-to, so it could be how to tile a bathroom and never go wrong, because I've got an amazing template holder that holds all the tiles in place and it solves lots of problems. People will go, wow, not only can I see how to tile, but I can see how to use this product, and I can see how that product is exactly what I'm looking for, because it makes a muppet like me create a tiled wall that looks like a professional's done it for a quarter of the price. And then if you make the offer, then people will go, wow, I didn't know tiling was so difficult. I didn't realize that was as big a problem as I thought. I didn't know it was going to be quite as expensive, but look at that. There's a solution. Isn't that amazing? I'd love to do that. If you were going to Facebook, you're probably not thinking, I wonder if Facebook's got the solution to how to tile a bathroom. You're going there with a different mindset. And so what I want to just kind of get across to you in this podcast episode, and I hope you're enjoying it, I hope you're finding value in it, is you've got to think to yourself, what is it I've got? What is it they're looking for? What is their pain? What is their problem? And are they looking for the solution on this platform that I can give them? Now, here's the complicating thing. If you give someone an offer that is absolutely irresistible, then to some extent it doesn't matter what platform you're on, because that offer will jump out at enough people in order to make them stop, pause, think, and buy. Okay. And the social media platforms, some of the other things you've got to realize are some of them are very sophisticated, some are less so. Some have incredibly powerful algorithms. Oh, it's like the dark side of the force, isn't it? Everything, you're always up against the algorithm. But some of them have algorithms that are incredibly complex, but incredibly clever in terms of being able to, if you had an advert that had an irresistible offer and you said, please put this advert in front of people who are likely to buy and likely to buy something like this. As you get that in front of people and as people think, yeah, that is an irresistible offer and yes, I am going to buy it, the algorithm will then learn and it'll analyze the characteristics of the person buying, and it'll keep refining itself, and it'll say, well, actually, look, there's a few commonalities here in the characteristics, and I'm going to put it in front of more people that have those characteristics, and I'm going to see if the results keep happening. And the algorithm can make a platform where you wouldn't think people would buy, so maybe Facebook, they can work out where to put this advert and who to put it in front of, to the extent that will stop them scrolling, stop them consuming Facebook, actually click in and potentially buy. So the algorithm, if you work with it, you can overcome all the issues of, am I picking the right platform as to where to put, my product or service? But you may have to pay for that. And it may be an expensive learning curve. And it may be that, there's a lot of testing in there before you get success. If, however, you go to a platform where people are looking and considering and thinking about the issue that you were talking about, that where your product or service would help them, then you're already a little bit ahead of the game. And don't forget, you are where you are talking to people about things and just having a general conversation in there. So you're not always selling to people. You might just be adding comment. You might be adding value to people. So someone might have posed a question on a social media platform and you're giving answers, you're giving help. That help might get shared. It might get spread around. You might be growing your awareness, and people might be saying, hey, that's great. Thank you. Oh, you talked about a solution. Where could I get it? And you put a link in and things like that. You're wanting to engage. Anything on social media is measured really. Success is measured in engagement and whether you can engage with people in terms of your posts or your responses or your help or your adverts. And all I'm saying is that if you simplify the social media down to a platform that you think would work for you, and that you do things in a way that it kind of fits with people where they're at, where they're looking, or whether they thought they were or not, it is making them stop, pause, think, and engage. It is that engagement that is crucial. Because, to be quite honest, it doesn't matter how much money you put into adverts. If the adverts are crap and the people don't want to engage with it, you're going to struggle. So another part of the best business bundle is marketing skills in there, so you can get your message correct and you can get your advert correct for your particular market, your particular social media platform, so that your customers will pick up on you and come to you for the product or service. So does that give the answer, what is the best one for me? Hopefully it might do, but just to clarify, something like Snapchat, TikTok, younger age group, are they looking to buy? No, they're looking to have great fun, share things and what have you, but that's not to say that you can't market it on there. TikTok's advertising is in its infancy, and there's not a great deal of metrics and ability behind that. Snapchat, a lot of people think it might be a dying platform and it might disappear, but a lot of people still have success. But are you appealing to that particular demographic? Facebook, the demographic is probably aging. Younger people are not particularly interested, but so what? Because maybe you're not too bothered because they don't have the disposable income that they need for your particular product or service. Essentially, Facebook has over 2 billion people. Link it with Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and there is a suite of products there that you can use the same advertising platform and the back end, so the ads manager side of things. You can cover all, lots of platforms within that by learning one thing. But Facebook has an older demographic. Facebook might be the big daddy. It has incredibly powerful algorithms, great advertising ability. The detail and the analytics are, class leading. So if you want information so you can test and tweak and do A/B split testing and all the rest of it, then your customer they're gonna be there. They're going to be there, and if you work correctly with the Facebook algorithm, you will get your information in front of them. Instagram, far more visual. So if you've got a very visual product, so typically makeup, styling, anything that's photogenic, anything that looks, cool, that looks really good on Instagram. And, people have a lot of success with that. And so who uses it? Well, the hip, trendier people, those that are young at heart and young in body, maybe. Businesses are waking up to it. The advertising is less intensive than it is on Facebook itself, because Facebook's probably one of the most mature advertising platforms. And it's there. So if you've got a very visual product and an audience that love to see it, so if you did something, say a really cool hat and or sunglasses or something, and you got lots of people taking photos, selfies of them wearing your hat or your glasses, you could become very stylized, and Instagram could be a really good way of sharing that info and spreading that that product or brand awareness. If you were talking about business and you wanted to do business maybe on a one-to-one or one-to-a-few, wanting to build deeper business relationships, well, people using LinkedIn are talking business. They are business people. Why else might you use LinkedIn? Typically, they have the highest income per user compared to other platforms. So you have much higher net worth individuals on LinkedIn. So it might be that you're looking for big investors, you're looking for bigger investments, maybe one-off investments, maybe lots of smaller investments. It could be all sorts, but it's for people who are business oriented. So if that's you, LinkedIn could be the one for you. What else have we got? YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is it's kind of like a lot of everything all in one. So my kids, I don't know about your kids, my kids don't watch TV as such as I remember it. So you would get a half-hour episode once a week and you had to wait till next week. And if you weren't watching when it was on, you missed it. No, that's all gone. They are watching other people playing video games and stuff like that. So they're watching recordings of people shouting and screaming as they play these other video games, and they love it, and they do it on demand. Sometimes when they sit down and we say, "Oh, come and watch this," and it comes to the adverts, and they go, "Well, fast forward," and you go, "Well, we can't. It's proper TV," and they look at you like you're an idiot. So YouTube satisfies that, but it also does the how-to market, how to do anything, how to invest in the stock market, how to lose a lot of money in the stock market, how to tile the bathroom, as we've said, how to plumb a washing machine in, how to grow tomatoes, whatever it is, it's there. And what you find with all of those things is you will see that there are tiny, tiny niches. And within those niches, you might find that there are 50,000 people all around the world who are super excited about everything to do with that particular subject. And if that is what your product or service is, they will be super excited about you. And if you said there's something for sale and you show videos of it, then it doesn't matter advertising to 1 billion people, because you might only get 100 people who buy. If you advertise to 50,000 ardent fans of that very thing, you may well get 10% of them, 5,000 who want it right now. Why? Because you are putting something in front of them that probably doesn't need explaining. They get it immediately. They understand what the problem was, and they understand how it's a solution. So YouTube is both visual and, like a lot of things, highly targeted. And if you put the right search criteria in, when people are saying how to grow tomatoes in a block of apartments or something like that, there's probably an answer there on YouTube. And one of the great things is you can search that yourself and have a look at it and then go, well, they've missed out 3 of the best points. So you could create an even better version of that. And if you get lots of traction, then YouTube will promote that. And when people search for how to grow tomatoes in a block of apartments, your video appears at the top. So you've got to sort of think to yourself, okay, right, if I wanted to do YouTube, it's all about videos. Am I comfortable going on video? Does my product lend itself to being filmed and videoed? You know, like these cookery things where it's from above and you're filming down and you're seeing someone sticking their fingers in your food and all the rest of it. Maybe. Do you have to talk to the camera? Are you scared of talking to the camera? Is that the sort of thing that petrifies you? Then these are things that you need to consider, and you need to think to yourself, look, okay, I've worked out where my customer is. I've worked out what my product or service is. But I've also got to think of myself as well and say, can I see myself actually doing this? Well, it's pointless kind of picking the one that you feel comfortable with if neither your customer nor the business customer isn't going to be there and the business isn't going to sell anything on that platform. Maybe where your customer is and the platform that they like using dictates what skills you need to learn. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe you could say, well, it doesn't have to be me. And I've got someone else that I know who would love to demo the product or use the product or give a testimonial or whatever it might be. Leverage someone else, use someone else. And if you're on a platform, so maybe you're a blogger, so just on other social media sort of things, so you can get things like Medium and blogs, those sort of things. Not strictly speaking social media like everyone thinks of it, but it's a great place to put your information. So that's Pinterest. Pinterest is an interesting one. There's an awful lot of purchases made through Pinterest, but here's something. If your product is solely for men, then Pinterest, I think the last stats I saw, it was about 85% of users were women of Pinterest. So if your product is for women, highly geared towards women, Pinterest may well be the thing for you. Twitter, I haven't really spoken about Twitter. Twitter is something that you have to be, in my mind, obviously you can advertise on there as well. But the trouble with Twitter is everything drops off to my mind, everything drops off the feed so fast that if you put up posts, they've got to be short, so you can't really give any depth. There could be links to things, but they are drop out the feed so fast compared to, say, something like YouTube or Pinterest, where things last basically forever and they are searchable forever. How many people in Twitter go back a week, a day, a week, a month, a year, 3 years? Nobody's scrolling back like that far. It's not. So I find Twitter very much a contemporary of the moment type platform. But it could be for you, because it might be that you are constantly sending things out, and that might be your product or service. It's very real time, so that might be perfect for you. But there we go. There's lots of social media platforms. There's lots of ways that you can attack it. As I say, it's in my best business bundle that will help break it down for you to make a reasonable choice. When you've made that choice, As I say in the bundle, stick with it, get happy with it, become a master of it. So, I know what the phrase was. I've thought of it. Yeah. Do you want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none? Or would you prefer to be a master of one of them? And I would suggest that in there, you need to be a master of one. So when you've picked the social media platform that you think your people are with, learn the skills, learn about the platform, and get going on that platform as much as you can and stick with it. And everyone's going to come up and say you're on the wrong one. Everyone's going to come up and say, oh, you need to try this. A new social media thing will come on and you'll feel like you're missing out on it. And FOMO, fear of missing out, is a big problem. What I'd say is just stick with it, because there are people successful on every single social media platform out there. What's their success down to? They stick at it and they focus on just that one. In the Best Business Bundle, I'll tell you all about how you can leverage other people and their skills to take your primary content and repurpose it across other platforms. But I would say on this podcast episode, the idea is to think about your customer, your skills, where they are, what problem you solve, and how you can get that best across. Pick the platform that you think best suits all that scenario and stick with it. So there we go. I'm just finishing off. It feels like I'm always drinking on this podcast, but it might be true. Anyway, my name's Nigel T. Best. You've been listening. Thank you so much for listening to the Best Business Show. Please, I'd love it if you could write a review in Apple Podcasts. I think that's one of the best ones. But wherever you're tuning in, I thank you so much for your time. But review, share, subscribe. Make sure it comes into whatever your podcast player is on a weekly basis. I'll do my damnedest to make sure there's something there for you every single week. And stay safe. Take care. Look out for one another. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.